All right, 6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in Thursday morning. Hope you're doing well. A little overcast right now. I think that's part of that 40% chance of rain. Who knows? Every day we get a little bit, right? Nobody's complaining about that. We haven't had David Minnicci in this studio for a while now, but we know that David has been associated with the health profession in our community for so very long in so many different capacities. So it's good to have him back in the studio again. David Minnicci is now the administrator of something called Strive Physical Therapy Centers.
You got it.
So this is where we get to learn what Strive is, isn't it?
It is, and we'll get to go through that hopefully for years to come. We'll get to talk about Strive and all the wonderful things that's going on within our community and our goal. And we're working in conjunction with Ocala Health Systems to bring on some experts within our community to talk about healthcare and give us an update of what's going on. So this morning, we're blessed and lucky to have the Chief Executive Officer, CEO, Randy McVeigh from Ocala Health Systems. So welcome, Randy.
Thank you, David.
I'll give you guys a quick overview. It's quite extensive.
All right.
Randy has over 26 years of healthcare experience, both at the hospital and the corporate levels, many of which were with HCA. Served as CEO here in Ocala since 2012, and prior to that, he was a chief financial officer of the organization. And even before that, a few years ago, he served in Ocala as a CFO. So this is his second time back to our community. So Ocala really is great, and once we get our hands on great people, we try our best to keep them. Ocala Health has been providing quality health care of the residents within Marion County since 1973. And the system comprises of Ocala Regional Medical Center, which is a 200-bed facility, and West Marion Community Hospital, which is a 70-bed facility on the west side of town. And you guys also have family care specialists, advanced imaging. I mean, you guys are doing a lot for our community, so we're very proud to have you. A huge employer, one of the largest, over 1,700 employees, 350 plus physicians, and 200 volunteers. So with that, I'd like to welcome Randy to our show. Welcome.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm always excited to talk about Ocala Health and what we have going on in the local area. We are a large provider of health care. We hope we render very good quality care to all the patients that we see, and we're excited to be a part of the community.
It's fantastic. Fantastic.
And to the onlooker, it looks like you're growing. It looks like there's construction and other things. I mean, just from the outside looking in, right? Am I right about that?
You're right about that, Larry. We have a lot of things going on at both of our campuses for Ocala Health. I'll start with Ocala Regional. That's the campus located on First Avenue here in downtown Ocala. We started not quite 9 months ago on a major what we call reskinning of the building, basically a facelift of the exterior of the building, building brand new parking, underground parking, and level parking in front of the building. And we've also done some extensive renovations within the hospital during this period of time, in a fairly new expansion to our emergency room side of the building for our emergency medical services trucks through the EMS fire rescue services for Marion County. So very exciting time.
And I don't know if this is just for the average, passerby, the person who's going to visit somebody or has somebody that they need to bring in there. But the one thing that always struck me, you walk in and there's always somebody there to answer you, because the first thing, you don't know where you are. You don't know where to go, and there's somebody sitting usually right there that can answer that question.
We recognized before we started that project on that campus that it would be a challenge getting through the building and where we needed to go. So we made sure that we had plenty of folks available, including our staff. If we see folks looking like they're lost, we'll grab them and take them where they need to go.
Robin had to visit your West Marion. We call it a campus. Is that how we refer to it? Okay. Yeah. Robin had. Can I tell him?
Yes.
She had food. She had food poisoning.
Oh no.
That was bad.
Not good. Not good. Scary. But you guys took care of her right away.
Right away. No wait. No anything. Came in, zipped me on back there, and your doctors, nurses, everybody on the staff, admissions person. They're all incredible there, firsthand experience.
Well, we're glad to hear that. It's unfortunate you had to visit with us, but if you did, I'm glad to hear it went well. So, at West Marion, we've had some exterior renovation work going on at our MOB there that just finished up.
That's such a pretty building already.
It's 11 years old, and
really?
you walk into that building and
Hard
it
to
looks
believe.
brand new. Taken very good care of that organization. We've added a new CT service there, equipment recently, and upgraded our MRI machine. So we have state-of-the-art imaging equipment at that campus now as well, at Ocala Regional. So
That is hard to believe it's 11 years old already. There's that billboard on 200 that says the wait time for the ER room. So, and that, I mean, and it always changes, so I'm guessing that's always, real-time information. So that's good. I mean, I always look at that and say, I hope I don't need to know that. I hope I don't need to know that information, but it's
well,
good.
If you ever need to know it, it's posted out there for you to at least understand how quickly you can be seen.
And from the top down, I mean, in your office, you have a computer screen that actually tells you the wait time, who's waiting, how long they've been waiting.
Yep.
So it's very important to you guys, and that's a great thing. There's nothing worse than having to go to the emergency department and sit and wait for an hour, 2 hours. And like you, Robin, I had to take my daughter to West Marion a couple years ago. She busted her eyebrow open. She had to get stitches.
Wow.
And I took her to your emergency department at West Marion. I think we had to wait like 2 minutes. It was amazing.
Robin had no wait at all.
Yeah, we just had to fill out the paperwork. As soon as we filled it out,
Right.
they triaged her. They brought her right back. One of the physicians, she was scared and nervous, she was 5 or 6 then, would be.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, what kind of candy bar do you like? She said, I like a Kit Kat. He came back with a Kit Kat for her, a soda, put her at ease, and she was as happy as can be. And she's now 8. She still talks about that.
Yeah,
It's a great experience.
emergency services is an important part of what we do and what we render.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly important to us. We call it the front doors of the organization. And when someone's in a need, in an emergency situation, we try to get them in as quickly as we
Right.
can. That's just part of what we do every day.
And Suzanne, you are very meticulous when it comes to paperwork, because you provided us with excellent notes and everything. And so what is your chief function there for being on the
Grab a
staff?
microphone.
Actually, I'm director of marketing for Ocala Health. So,
Well, no wonder you're so good at it.
Yeah,
yeah, that's why Randy's here today. You know? Well, David and I.
yeah.
David and I. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a great emphasis on the patient experience, and we try to make that as pleasant under the circumstances as possible.
Patient experience and also family of the patient experience, I guess.
Very true.
Is a way to say that. When somebody has, I guess in Robin's case, it could have been trauma because she was, it was all of a sudden there it was, like if somebody in an accident, all of a sudden there's a need, as opposed to somebody who says, I'm not feeling so good, and I go in. Is it handled differently when somebody comes in and it's traumatic, as opposed to somebody who's, I gotta be checked out, I got something going on?
We immediately react to anyone that comes into the organization from an emergency services standpoint. The trauma patients, as you might have read in the past in trauma services at the Ocala Regional Campus, those folks are going to arrive either via EMS trucks or a helicopter. And obviously from a speed standpoint, they get right into a certain area of the emergency department for those types of events. Anyone else that walks in the front of the door within minutes, they're recepted in, triaged, as we use the term, made a quick medical determination on what the next steps needs to be for their care, and then we take it from there.
How do you keep up with the blood need for there? What kind of relationship do you have with the blood centers here in town?
Florida Blood Centers is someone that we've worked with for many, many years. And they've been able to provide our needs at any time. They've worked very well with us in the past. Certainly as a trauma center, that's absolutely critical that you have that handy at a moment's notice. So we keep quite a quantity on hand now for trauma events that occur. But we work very, very closely with the blood folks in the area to get what we need when we need it.
Yeah, Robin and I are donors on a regular basis. Not to brag, but it's just what we... she's been doing it since she was 17. I think I was 40 before I was finally brave enough to do it. And on the 4th of July, my first time ever, I was asked, I guess because I'm large, would you like to give too? And I said, I've often wondered this. How come you don't ask me for two? The 90-pound woman gives one, and I give one. Shouldn't I give two? Well, so I had this process. I don't know how. All I had to do was lay there. There was nothing to it. So, yeah. So make a connection between what you guys do at the hospital and what David does at Strive. It obviously there's a secondary step, right? If somebody needs rehabilitation.
Well, I'll start, and then David, I'll let you kind of finish up there. Strive has been a partner with Ocala Health now for many, many years. Probably started 15 plus years ago, if even longer than that. They render our inpatient physical therapy services that we have a need for at both of our campuses for any of our patients. And then they receive many, many referrals on an outpatient basis for those folks that need that continuum of care once they're discharged from the inpatient setting. So they're a strong partner of ours, have been for many years, and we both work very well together and continue and plan to continue to do that.
Thank you very much. It comes down to quality, and that's something that we strive for at Strive. And we're one of the few outpatient clinics in the country that actually measure that with a third party on how well we're doing. And with the inpatient, it's also measured as well. So I think that helps us create, I guess, a strong service where quality is the utmost importance, and that's the driver. And I think that's why a lot of the folks that we get from on the outpatient side that was on the inpatient side, they speak very highly of the total services they get on the inpatient side. So it's great for us as well, because we have a partner that truly believes in quality and having satisfied customers. Tests it with third-party organizations to make sure that they're satisfied, and not just the rhetoric that all of our customers get the best care and they're happy.
Wow.
It's actually tested, and it's that continuity concept as well from the inpatient side. They have something traumatic happen. They go through the trauma services. Now we have in Ocala, which is a godsend, and then they go to inpatient. They get rehab by our therapist, treated by the doctors. And then eventually, if they need continuation of rehab, they come to Strive outpatient. A lot of our therapists work both inpatient and outpatient. So that encounter they had initially through the trauma services with that first rehab therapist, they're seen on the outpatient side after they're done with the inpatient. So that therapist has a global understanding of where that patient is within their care and what type of care they need to continue to progress forward. So
I don't know if this is a general question, just because I don't know much about what you do, but if we, and this is like a Barbara Walters type of a question, I guess, if we could take somebody and travel through time from, let's say, the 1960s and bring them to today, and they were, let's say, a medical professional, would they be surprised at the role that physical therapy plays in overall health? It seems like back then you used to always hear about people being in the hospital forever. Now it seems like they get operated on, and next thing you know, they're on a treadmill. Would they be surprised?
I think they would be very surprised to see from a technological standpoint how far we've come in the last 40 or 50 years in healthcare. From the physical therapy standpoint, how quickly you can now recover from a surgical procedure. I mean, we have folks at both of our campuses that will have a knee replaced and 2.5 days later are back at home. Whereas in years past, that would be many, many days of stay in the hospital. It's just everything has been moved to the front end of the care, and it's all about taking care of the patient, rendering the services, and then getting the patient in the next setting that they need to be in. You know, the reason I'm asking is because after the Boston bombing, there were these stories about the people who had these new, for the first time, prosthetics. Never before. Yeah. Suddenly they're in physical therapy. And it's almost like if you want to be well, you got to work on it now. You can't wait.
That's right.
And I wondered if that was always the case in years gone by, or if people kind of waited around for a very long time before they got back on their feet. You want to add?
I just think mobility in general
makes a difference.
Helps your whole body heal. And I think that's the key, is getting back and getting active and getting movement for your body. So it's.
And how do you both keep Strive and the hospital in the forefront? Because as a hospital, you have to not only make sure that the patients or potential patients know you're there, but also the doctors as well from the community. How do you manage to keep everyone abreast of everything?
A lot of communication.
Communication, but it all starts with quality health care. No matter what you say or do, if you're not rendering good quality health care, folks aren't going to come back to you for services. So that's the core of everything that we try to do and achieve at both Ocala Health and all of our operations, but also at Strive. Keeping our information in front of physicians and referral sources and even individual patients and the consumers, that's part of what Suzanne does and David does for Strive, and that's an important part of it. But from my perspective, it all starts with the type of care we render.
Wow.
And that doesn't take long to get out into the community.
It's word of mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Randy, in the course of your day, in the course of your work, whether it's one day or 1 week, I'm guessing there are some things that I'm guessing everything we'd be amazed at. But from your perspective, some things are mundane and some things are exciting. And so maybe kind of as a way to help us understand the impact on the community at large, what are the things that excite you about what you're doing specifically?
You know, the funnest part of my job, if funnest is a word that I can use on the radio.
We use it all the time
Right.
because we don't
Best
know
part
really
of-
know
The best
English.
part of my job that I don't get to do as much as I'd love to is literally just walking through our organization, both campuses and even in family care specialists or advanced imaging, and watching our staff and physicians and volunteers helping people. That's what gets me excited every day.
Oh, wow.
And just walking through the building and watching those interactions and watching families who are being helped is what that's why I'm in healthcare, and that's what I enjoy every day.
I'm guessing you've all had the experience of seeing somebody. You've seen the before and after and everything in between. So I mean, that's got to be the most rewarding, is to see somebody recovering.
It's you can't explain, and that's why trauma and the trauma designation was important to us. But to see a family and an individual in a crisis moment, and however many days or weeks later, walk out of the building completely taken care of and able to function in life. I mean, you can't put anything on that other than it makes you excited. And we do that every day. Not every outcome from a healthcare standpoint is always the best for the patients. I mean, there's folks that have many different aspects of healthcare issues in their lives, but watching that care being rendered and then watching folks leave your organization better than they came in.
And David, how do you school the family members of the patient that's being rehabilitated? Sorry, because sometimes they think it should be quicker than that, and it takes time.
Well, it comes down to making sure that we communicate with the patients on the front end and continually giving them updates on how well they're doing.
Right.
So we help on the front end and then throughout the process to communicate so that we help them with understanding what is the expectation on how well they're going to heal and how quickly they're going to heal, because
Right.
everybody heals differently and at different rates. So it's working and communicating with the patients so that they have an understanding.
You know, I've often wondered, we had a discussion the other day with a nurse, and she was saying that there was a shortage of nurses. And we didn't get to ask her, but doctors have become specialized doctors. You know, where once upon a time there was the doctor, now it's the eye doctor, the nose doctor, whatever. Is the same thing true for nurses? Are nurses specialized now?
You do have nursing professionals that are very specialized in what they do. I mean, you have a medical surgical nurse, and that's what she does and takes care of those general patients. And then you have specialized and trained nurses that take care of critical care patients, which could be open heart patients, a trauma patient, any other type of critical care patient in that situation. So there is a lot of specialization for the professionals that are in nursing as well.
We do have the phone line open, by the way. I should have mentioned this earlier. If you have any questions, you are welcome to call. And just to reintroduce, let me make sure I have all the information. David Minnicci is here. He's the administrator of Strive Physical Therapy Centers, and you may recognize David's voice. He's been with us quite a bit. And actually, David brought in two guests of his own. Randy McVeigh is the CEO of Ocala Health. We've been learning a lot about the campuses that he represents. 26 years you've been doing this, huh?
Almost 28 now.
28?
Yeah.
So my notes are 2 years old. And Suzanne, is it Santangelo?
Santangelo. You got it.
Santangelo. Okay, well, nice to meet all of you. So if I was a fly on your wall, Suzanne, on a daily basis, are you Are you the person who contacts us in the media? Do you put out the news releases and all that? Yeah?
Yes.
Are you the one responsible for the billboard that says 4-minute waiting time and all
Yes,
that?
we are.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah. All advertising, public relations, media relations, direct mail, you name it.
Are there programs at Ocala Health that are health related to support good health as opposed to bad health? In other words, like a exercise program or something like that?
Yes, we have our H2U program, Health for You.
What is that?
Health to You. It's a program that promotes a lot of education. Has exercise classes. We do a lot of dancing, Zumba, yoga, that type of thing.
Does
A
David
lot
do
of
it?
I don't know. Have you participated in H2U? I'm not quite sure.
Dancing. I mean the dancing part.
Oh, the dancing part.
I'll sign up for Zumba if
And we bring in a lot of speakers about a lot of preventive health.
You know what? That would be wonderful to have on hand if you have a featured speaker that we could make sure the listeners know about. It's a great opportunity.
Right.
Are they typically at the hospital downtown, or are they?
We actually have a few of them at the West Marion campus, and then we also have a senior wellness community center, which is located out on 200, just right at the entrance up on Top of the World.
Oh.
So, and that is
really?
solely dedicated to education and classes and that type of thing.
And anybody can go there.
Anybody can go there, take advantage of our free lectures, and then if you'd like to join H2U, you can join H2U and then participate in the exercise and nutrition classes.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, now David, when he came in, he gave me a gift card. I don't know if I'm supposed to use this. I know, I'm giving it away. What is this, a $10 gift card for Lori's Gifts? And where's Lori's Gifts?
Right in the hospital at Ocala Regional Medical Center.
Just walk in and you get a gift? I love the gift shops in the hospital, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, because you always forget to get something, and there it is, right
Yeah.
there.
We have a very nice gift shop. She runs a very good operation.
So,
there.
do you want to? How do we get a winner? Do we ask a question, or
just have somebody call in, and you can take the first caller, and then we'll.
somebody call in with a question, and you will get a $10 gift certificate for Lori's Gifts. Look at every light is on. Didn't take much. Good morning. It sounds like
Hi.
you're the winner. Do you have a question?
Oh, wonderful. This is Kathy.
Okay, Kathy.
Do I have a question? I was a very pleased recipient of Strives years ago. I was very pleased with it.
What happened to you?
I'd had a wrongful injury with a traffic incident.
Oh my!
And it was a knee with really bad tissue damage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a strengthening type thing. It really, really was helpful.
Well, thank you. Are you doing better?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's all better. No, not a trace of it.
Fantastic.
Did you do the Zumba?
No, I haven't tried Zumba.
Well, you've got a $10 gift certificate for Lori's Gifts at Ocala
Ocala
Health.
Regional.
Oh, I'm so happy for that. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations. Have a great
All
day.
right.
It'll be waiting
Thank
for you.
you so much. All righty.
Thank you,
I'll be
Kath.
bye. Thanks.
There's no way that I could ever tell you how much you, in your profession, have contributed to my family. I've gone through a few, if I told you the sad part, that my parents both passed away in the last 4 years, in 4 years apart. But prior to them passing away, there was a lot of visits to people in the health profession. So, thank you for what you do, David. You've always been on top of your game. So, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thanks. And I would like to take a second. We're running close. To thank Ocala Health Systems. I serve on the board for the Heart of Florida Health Center, along with Scott Hankinson, who's currently the CFO at Ocala Health Systems. And I just want to share with the general public the wonderful good works that Ocala Health Systems does for our community. They've been a supporter of the Heart of Florida Health Center for almost 20 years, even before it was called the Heart of Florida, which provides free care or low-cost care to folks in our community that either are poor or don't have health insurance.
Oh, wow.
And Ocala Health Systems have been not only a financial supporter for the center, and they don't have to be, but they are. But they've also been a participator within the system, within the health center, and has served on the board, going all the way back to Terry Upton when he was at Ocala Health Systems,
early 90s.
and Brad Griffin, who was recently promoted within your system to be a CEO, and now what Scott Hankinson. So on behalf of the center, I just want to thank you for your support and all the things that you and your organization does without recognition within our community. So thank you.
Appreciate that, David. I mean, again, I'm the luckiest person in the organization on a daily basis. My role in life is to make sure we have the resources needed to take care of people. That's what I get paid to do.
Wow.
But
And we benefit from that.
Ocala is a very fortunate area. We have some very wonderful community physicians that practice in this area. Many of them have been in here many years. They've participated with us in the trauma designation. They practice at all of the healthcare providers in the area. We have over 1,800 employees now, David, so we've added a few in the last year.
Wow.
And we have hundreds of volunteers. And I get to watch all of that occur, and that's I'm very humbled by what I am a part of every day. So we enjoy what we do. We've been in this community for 40 years in September, and we plan to be here another 40 years, and we're looking forward to celebrating that here in a couple of months. And so a lot of exciting things happening at Ocala Health.
Well, thank you for coming in. It's an honor to meet you, Randy. Thank you for coming in. Suzanne, thank you for coming in, for arranging this. And David, as always.
My pleasure.
David, thank you.
Great to see
Thank you.
You guys are great.
Appreciate it.
All right, we will take a little break. We'll be right back.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your